Hey guys, welcome back to the channel for another top 5 video. Today we are taking a look at top 5 secondary villains. We previously had ranked all of the main villains, but today we're actually taking a look at top 5 secondary villains. Secondary villains include generals such as Kozu, Samukai, Cryptor, and all of those kind of people. So yeah, we're going to start off with my number 5 placing. So in 5th place, we have Machia, who quickly rose up the ranks to become the Supreme Commander, and she was first introduced in Season 7, and I gotta say, for the most part, was a pretty solid character. I quite liked her in Season 7, as she was pretty much no-nonsense, but at the same time, there was another side to her that we didn't really see in past Ninjago generals, and that is a side that is definitely more representative of a general. She's actually very strategic and very smart on the battlefield, which is why she is going to get this place as opposed to some others who are not going to make this list, actually. And yeah, I do feel like that side of her is actually really cool. That very strategic, intelligent side of her is pretty cool. And as well, Crux had said that he had bred the generals with the best offspring from the Great Devourer, and truth be told, I would have expected them all to be like Machia. Machia really is very intelligent, and, Blanc and Ragmuk are two idiots, so I would really expect them, by that logic, to all be like Machia instead. And I do feel like she is a pretty solid character, and I was definitely impressed by her in Season 7. So in 4th place, we have Mr. E, who is a fan-favorite character and one of the 3 Sons of Garmadon generals. And what's great about Mr. E is the new approach that was very unique and extremely different from the other 2 Sons of Garmadon generals. We have one big fig general, one kind of normal psychotic general, and then we have Mr. E, who turns out to be a robot, which is another really cool thing. But the main thing about his character that really has a lot of people loving him is that he actually doesn't speak, which is really interesting for him. He's kind of portrayed as that silent but deadly fighter, and I think that really does fit this character very well, especially the robot side of him. And it makes sense. Well, with other robots, you have more, more monotonous, more kind of robot-like, emotionless sides. You also have Mr. E, who kind of is the other side, a more trained-to-kill, assassin-like character, and that is what's really cool about Mr. E. I will admit that he kind of is overrated, and no offense, if you love Mr. E, continue loving him. He's a great character, and I can understand why. I don't mean to hate at all, but I do think he's a bit overrated. He doesn't do too much, but yet at the same time, I can understand why a lot of people love him, because he just really does portray that silent assassin character that we have never really seen in Ninjago. In 3rd place, we have Scales, and the most remarkable thing about his character, in my opinion, is his ascension to power in the first 2 seasons. He starts out as the second-in-command of the Hypnobrai, then defeats the general to become the general of the Hypnobrai, then the second-in-command of the Serpentine race as a whole, and later he is crowned as the destined Serpentine leader, and he, to this day, still is the Serpentine leader. And we've seen just many cool stories with him as well. He's a very cool character, and I really love that cunning side of him. And I think Scales as a character just works out very well. He was the perfect second-in-command for the first season, but, there was definitely a lot more potential to be explored with him. And we had seen this. He was a leader figure, and him being second-in-command worked for the time being, but wasn't always going to work. Luckily, this came about in the next season, which kind of resolved this, and it started out with this power struggle with Garmadon, which was not the best storyline in my opinion. Garmadon is not really worthy of leading the Serpentine, but ultimately he manages to get Garmadon out of the way, which again goes to show how great of a character Scales really is, and how powerful he can be, and then soon enough, Scales becomes the destined Serpentine leader. And here's the thing, Scales really is the destined Serpentine leader. Not Pythor, not Garmadon, it is Scales. It was Scales whose, carving was on the stone army tomb door, and Scales really is the destined leader. I really loved his role in episode 21, and I really wish we just could have seen more of King Scales in the series, and it's kind of a shame that we only saw a little bit of that evil king side of him. And in 2nd place, we do have Klaus, who is the secondary villain in Season 4, and the second-in-command to Chen. But following the defeat of Chen and Klaus's own banishment to the Cursed Realm, and transformation into a ghost, he has been up to his own evil shenanigans. The aspect I love most about him is the exploration of magic. We had never seen this in the series before, and we still really haven't seen it at all. I love how Klaus is that kind of sorcerer character who toys around with magic to get his way. And that is just such a genius idea for the story. You have Chen, who is more of a, the point of Chen is that he's pretty much powerless, but he still manages to build his own power. That is the entire point of Chen. But with Klaus, on the other hand, there's a huge contrast, as Klaus really is powerful and that magic aspect of him using dark magic to get his way and defeat his enemies, is just really a cool idea for him as a whole. It really worked well for his character as well. And, I just think Klaus has been really cool. Even after his defeat in Season 4, we've seen him back a few times in Season 6. And I don't think we could have had a better character free Nauticon. Again, it all goes back to that whole magic thing and his belief in magic and destiny and all that kind of stuff. He really was the best choice for the character to free Nauticon. And since then, that was his last appearance in the show. He came about back again in the Dark Island trilogy, which is a great conclusion to his character arc, having him in the underworld banished, but also leaving the door open to future possibilities and storylines with him. And in first place, we have General Cryptor, who is one of the side villains in Season 3, and the commander of the Ninjoid army. And Cryptor is just awesome. I especially love how he taunts his enemies, and he mocks them as well. And that is it's just really cool. And it also makes for some great scenes with him as well. Especially in most scenes where he's actually doing this, he generally is mocking Zane and taunting him over being an older droid unit and all of that kind of stuff. But in addition to that, Cryptor is also just a great general as well. He's a great fighter, and he does have enough emotion to make him a pretty cool character. I especially love that he is also, kind of like Machia, a good planner, although not as good as Machia. And his relationship with Mindroid is just really funny as well. Although his downfall in episode 34 is kind of embarrassing and a little bit underwhelming. But I would say Cryptor is just a very cool character. His dynamic with Zane is pretty cool. And he's a great fighter as well. And he's not your average, boring, emotionless robot character. He has enough depth to him and enough going on to make his scenes, the scenes that he's in, pretty interesting and fun to watch. So that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone ever you know, and please do not rage for me excluding Samukai and Kozu. But yeah, be sure to list your own top 5 secondary villains rankings down in the comment section below, as well as explaining your thoughts on mine. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.